Sup guys, I'm Joe, and I made this video to show you not only how to build a PC, but also how to take it all apart, because there are plenty of people out there that have pre-built PCs that maybe want to upgrade some of their parts, but are either too nervous to touch anything in their rig, or they have no idea where to start. And by the end of this video, you should know exactly how to do everything from start to finish. This is the PC I built for my wife, and it's definitely capable of 1080p gaming with good frames and even some light production work. And we're going to take it apart and put it all back together in less than 15 minutes. Let's do it.
Make sure the computer is shut down and the power supply is switched off before you start unplugging things. Start by taking off the front and side panels. Unplug your cables from the motherboard and pull them out through the back. Unscrew and remove the power supply. I usually like to take this fan off because it gets in the way of the motherboard when you take it out and put it back in. Take off the two screws holding the graphics card in place, and there's a tab that you need to unlatch on the motherboard under the CPU cooler before you take it out. Unscrew the motherboard from the case. You should be able to just lift it straight out. Unplug, unscrew, and remove the CPU cooler. Unlatch and remove the RAM. Always make sure you remove the old thermal paste from the CPU cooler and the CPU with a paper towel and some isopropyl alcohol before you put them back on. Then just lift the CPU out of the socket and we're good to go. Line up the tiny triangles on the CPU and the socket on the motherboard. And then just drop it in real slow. Carefully put it in. You don't want to use any force. If you do, you could bend the pins and then it's busted. Pull back the tabs on the second and fourth slots for the RAM, put it in, and then push. You gotta make it click. Put the M.2 drive in at an angle in its slot, hold it down, and screw it in with the tiny M.2 screw. Don't forget to use your thermal paste. You don't want to use too much, just enough, about the size of a pea. Line up your cooler on there, make sure it gets a nice little squish so it evenly spreads out the thermal paste. And then screw it on like a tire, one on one side, one on the other, and rotate until it's all screwed in. There's a port for the CPU pan in the top right corner of the motherboard, and it will be labeled CPU fan. Now you're ready to lower your motherboard back into the case. Line up the I/O ports on the back with the I/O shield. Line up your standoffs. Screw it all in. Now you're ready for the power supply. I usually go ahead and plug in what I'm going to be using into the power supply before I put it in, and make sure you're doing it with the fan facing down. That way it can pull in that fresh air. Your CPU cable will go into the top right of the back, because that's where it goes into the motherboard. Your 24-pin ATX cable will go right here for the same reason. Then you've got the cable for your graphics card. And we'll go ahead and put the cables for the fans in right here, because there's a port on that side of the motherboard. These are the cables for your case. That's your power button, your USB ports, audio, and they're going to go here on the bottom of the motherboard. We're going to slide them in through these two slots right here. Start with the HD audio. Notice the missing pin. Find that port on the motherboard. It should usually be labeled audio. Push it in there. This is probably the hardest part of building a PC, these tiny little cables right here. I usually line it up with my fingers and then slide it onto the pin with my fingernail. Hopefully your motherboard's like mine and there's a diagram up there, right there where my thumb is. This is your USB cable, so your USB ports will work. Line up your 8-pin CPU cable from the power supply and plug it in here at the top left of your motherboard. Now you can plug in your 24-pin motherboard cable. This one can kind of be a pain in the ass. Just shove it in there. We'll plug in our fans here. Notice right here where it says SYS fan, that's system fan. Now the graphics card. You want to line up these pins right here with this lane right here on the motherboard. Pull that tab back, line it up, and just push it in. Don't forget to screw it in. And then plug up your power connectors. And that's it. You're good to go. You're done.
So there you go, an affordable gaming PC, and with the way prices are right now, you can definitely build yourself an amazing system, or at the very least, find yourself some awesome upgrades. I'm actually going to be making a video explaining the thought process behind how to choose the different parts for your build, including where you can save some money. So like, subscribe, and if you know somebody that could benefit from this video, please pass it along. And if there's anything specific you want me to cover, or if you have any questions at all, please comment down below. Thanks for watching. Peace.